Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? And what's up, Sussex squad? Y'all, let's get into this because the palace, King Charles, have found a new talking point. Don't you know? Saltine Island isn't a racist place that chased Meghan and the king's second son out of the country on a racist broomstick. No. Meghan was a mastermind that orchestrated all of this. Didn't you know? You guys, let me tell you something. I have to say this. Meghan and Harry, if they're not laughing about this shambolic leadership, I would actually be happy. There's nothing better than when your enemies are intent on destroying you. But they're also idiots too. You guys, what am I talking about? Right? Meghan's people are literally saying that she carefully plotted her own exile from the royal family. She plotted every single time she begged HR for help. Please, I'm thinking about deleting myself. She knew HR was going to ignore her. And then, you know what? Let's get into this because this to me is one of the funniest stories I've had. Now listen, it's pretty obvious they're doing spin control. They are so afraid of Harry's book. But remember when Meghan did the interview with The Cut and said she had a journal where she chronicled everything? Now the palace thinks by getting in front of these stories, right, that they'll take away interest for what actually happened or get their narrative out. Proving once again, you actually don't understand the American audience, baby. We don't care who threw the first punch. In American audience, the juice is, but why did he throw the punch? And why'd you react like that? And then what happened? We want the behind the scenes, baby. It's not enough to be like, well, they said this and that. No. I don't know how things go in London, but in America, baby, give us all the juice. The fact that they're literally making Harry's book a bestseller, and now they're trying to get in front of anything Meghan might say against them, man, I have to laugh. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this. Before we do, hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget my interview with Candy Burris. Yes, it's up. Make sure you check that out. And also my interview with Claire Solmers. Please check that out. She is Miss Fashion Bomb Daily, built a following of 2 million people on Instagram and has become a force to be reckoned with. It is such a good talk. We even go into what it takes and maybe advice you didn't know on starting your own Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And don't forget, Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm going live at 9 p.m. tonight. 9 p.m. tonight, right after the show. Okay, let's get into this. Meghan's aides branded her a narcissist sociopath over her demanding behavior and gave themselves the name Sussex Survivors Club, a new book claims. I don't know where it went wrong. You branded this woman a narcissist sociopath. Why did things go wrong? It's so weird. Like, ooh, that weird American always pushing. Get this. They say that they believe that Meghan deliberately laid a trail of evidence as she carefully plotted her departure from the royal book. This is akin to you leaving your purse open and someone stealing your money, lying about it, then using it to buy a hammer to delete you from this earth and saying, you knew if you left that purse open, I was going to use it to get a hammer to delete you. These people are insane, but get this, right? Now, they named themselves the Sussex Survivors Club after Meghan and Harry quit their roles and called Meghan a narcissist sociopath. So already we know that they're very unbiased, of course. Now this is in a new book, Extracts of Courtiers, The Hidden Power Behind the Crown. Anyway, the book describes the Sussex's deteriorating relationship with staff, a succession of decent people who have believed in Meghan and would have done anything to help her succeed. It alleges that the aides came to believe that Meghan's departure was premeditated and that one of her concerns was whether she was going to be able to make money for herself. So let me get this straight. Meghan came into the firm. She did 20 times more work than Kate, 15 times more work than William. She was out there hitting the ground running. She wanted to represent, she was not British. I don't know why British people, at least the royalists, can't get through their heads. Americans cannot, we understand there's Prince Charles, and we understand there's William, and we understand there's Harry, but all of the social nuance and context that goes into actually being a royal, it is lost on us. You guys think it's obvious? We don't. We're literally like, what? Huh? Why? Even something as small as the king has to walk first, the queen has to walk first. It just, so Meghan had to take a crash course into doing all this. But let's go on with this, right? When Meghan came, she was working more than 80% of most royals. Let's just say 70% of most royals, and definitely 100%, if not more than 100%, as much as William and Kate, who have been doing this for a decade. They told Meghan when she first started, she was not going to be paid because out of their billion-dollar estate, there was no money to pay her, right? But they expected her to do the work of a senior working royal without money to be paid, and then also suggested to her, this is out of the palace themselves, that she should continue being an actress if she wanted money. And they're trying to say that Meghan was concerned about whether she was going to be able to make money for herself. You're telling me a woman who's always been independent, who's an upstart American, was concerned about whether she would actually be paid for her job or how she would support herself, especially because the courtiers told her, whatever, you're mad that she just didn't relish Harry's wealth? That's a bad thing that a woman wants to actually make her own money? But let's go on, right? One ex-staff member told the author she wanted to be rejected because she was obsessed with that narrative from day one. But you guys are overlooking, you did reject her. A source said her team reportedly said of her on her repeat, we were played. How were you played? Because Meghan documented all the horrible ways that you treated her? You were played? I mean, I guess, right? What else, right? The book claims that the staff became convinced that Duchess wanted to show how the institution failed her and felt that there was a cynical motive behind her decision to complain to HR bosses who listened sympathetically but offered no help. It was inevitable. HR is there to deal with employee issues, not members of the royal family. Meghan would presumably have known that. So what was she doing there? Laying a trail of evidence would be a cynical answer. Do you not understand American employment law? And I'm sure there's something like this in the UK. If somebody is acting as an employee, taking all the responsibilities of an employee, and they are not a volunteer, even though you are not paying them anything, you still owe them workers' rights. If HR is responsible, and if all the Meghan's meetings are coordinated by the palace, she's a working royal. She doesn't, the fact that you're paying her doesn't mean anything. She is an employee. The fact that she cannot move unilaterally and she needs you guys' permission to do everything, and you guys pay for her clothes, do this, actually, I think Meghan paid for her own clothes, but the fact that you guys are controlling her movements and her actions by American and British law, she is an employee. The fact that you paid her nothing has nothing to do with it. They know this, but they're being stupid. They said everyone knew that the institution would be judged by her happiness. The mistakes they made was thinking that she wanted to be happy. In her interview, Meghan felt that the ones she felt that were surrounded her, the ones she felt refused to help her when she was in her hour of greatest need, and said perpetrated lies and falsehoods around her. I think that's true. They said the aides grew so disillusioned they began to suspect even her most desperate pleas were part of a deliberate strategy to facilitate her departure. Meghan tried to get fired because she knew that you guys were so racist, small, petty-minded, and you guys hated being subservient to a Black woman that she forced you guys to act a fool. Is this really your defense? Is this your defense? Is this your defense? They said, the book says, they believe she wanted to be able to say, look how they felt to support me, but you guys did. And I don't understand, if you guys knew she was in on the con, then why didn't you guys write a letter from HR being, Meghan, we understand how you feel. Why don't you go to the psychiatrist? Why don't you go to this doctor? Why don't you take days off? More importantly, if Meghan was not an employee of the firm, if she was not a single working employee, then why were they dragging her for not going along with the schedule? Why were they dragging her for not being mentally fit to go to events? I'm just saying. They said, Samantha Cohen, who, by the way, is Jason Knopf's, I believe, very good friend, if I'm not wrong, whom the Queen had personally asked to step in as the couple's private secretary and who worked for the Sussex from their wedding in May 2018 until the end of their South African tour in 2019. We know they had issues with this woman. And Sarah Lathan, who was in charge of communications. Others include, okay, who cares? According to the book, some of Meghan's staff suspected that in the end, she wanted to make money. And the only way she could do that was by leaving her royal life behind and going back to America. But this directly contradicts what the palace told us, and the fact that they told Meghan to keep working. So the palace is telling Meghan, we're not paying you. You better get a job if you want money. Why are now the courtiers saying, we suspect Meghan wants to make money? Please. Part of the problem, according to the source, was that everyone in the palace was too genteel and civil. When someone decides not to be civil, they have no idea what to do. They were run over by her and then run over by Harry. This is ridiculous. I can't with these people. They said Prince Harry, launched a last-minute bid to tone down his bombshell autobiography amid fears his final draft might not go down too well with the Queen. That's a lie. Yeah, we all know that Harry is now holding Archie and Lilibet's titles over their parents' head, saying that if you do not say anything, if you scrap the book, then we'll give them Prince and Princess titles, not even His Royal Highness titles, but Prince and Princess titles. Let me tell you something. I said what I said, and I'll stick to it. Prince Charles is trying to do the same thing to Harry as he did to his mother. It's very sick, it's very insidious, and the world's watching. And just how before the royals were, at least the Queen had enough insight and foresight to say, ooh, this isn't going down too well. And she got out there and tried to make amends with the people after Diana died. Prince Charles doesn't have the Queen's foresight. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's making a fool of himself. This is shambolic, but this is good. This is good. They said Meghan came to perceive Young as inflexible, bureaucratic figure. Listen, I'm not even getting into this. This is just so. Listen. Oh, that's another thing. This is the best thing. They said Meghan moaned she wasn't getting paid for royal tours, so she did not understand why she had to shake people's hands and do walkabouts. But I don't understand. They're trying to force Meghan while she's pregnant to do an insane amount of work, probably hoping, I'm not even going to say it, but I do think they weren't happy to have mixed race blood come into their thing. And now you're moaning that you're moaning that you have to go on handshakes. But let's see what she says, her moaning. I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this. She was doing an incredible amount of work. A work other royals are paid for, but she wasn't. So let's already talk about those implications. And the fact that she made an offhand comment saying, this is a lot of work. I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this. That's a smoking gun. That's the smoking gun. Listen, this is also the bullying. After the woman told her that if it would be difficult to execute a new plan, because Meghan said, hey, I have a plan for the way I want things to do. And she was describing to a young female member in front of colleagues over a plan that Meghan had presented. The woman said, I don't think I'll be able to implement that. Meghan said, don't worry. If there was literally anyone else I could ask to do this, I would be asking them instead of you. Another sense of bullying. Meghan called them. No, the employee that had messed up. Meghan said to have berated staff repeatedly, including one occasion when an employee fell foul of the Duchess over a mix-up involving a press engagement. So an employee made a big issue. They said when they tried to call Meghan didn't pick up the phone. This is so ridiculous. I can't stop shaking. There were a lot of broken people. Young women broken by Meghan's behavior. Y'all, One staff member was completely destroyed by the experience. In another incident, Meghan rang an employee repeatedly when she was out for dinner on Friday to yell at her about how she felt she had been let down. Every 10 minutes, I had to go outside to be screamed at by her and Harry. It was, "I can't believe you've done this. You've let me down. What were you thinking?" What did that staff member do? You guys, I can't. She said she was constantly trying to battle on Harry and Meghan's behalf while taking this abuse from them. I think we both know I'm going to be one of your bosses soon. Oh my God. Similarly, Meghan told one of Harry's advisors more than 6 months before they were engaged, "I think we both know I'm going to be one of your bosses soon." That sounds like, you know what? I can't get on with this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The fact that you are literally asking with Prince Charles, who has been accused. You know what, you guys, let's wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, but I just want to say, I'm going to actually bring up Prince Charles, Prince Andrews, and the way that they literally are reports of them choking out some of their aides. And now Meghan demanding that people do a good job is too much. You guys, listen, I'll talk to you guys later. Get ready for the next video tomorrow. It's going to be a doozy because Camilla's been talking trash about Harry. All right, my little tattletales. I will talk to you later. Bye.